Liberal Viewer present.
So several times last month I saw Fox News totally misrepresenting a case in which some conservative Christian city employees sued the city of Oakland, California for taking down a flyer they posted in their government workplace that advertised a meeting of their pro-traditional family group because a lesbian coworker complained. First I saw Fox and Friends misreporting that the case was about legally classifying the word marriage as hate speech, and though I missed recording that broadcast, by the time the O'Reilly factor got to the story, Fox had even created this little marriage is hate speech graphic. But the most egregious misreporting came from the June 12th episode of Special Report that purports to provide actual news, but in this case made 4 errors in a story just over 40 seconds long. In fact, the first 2 errors are in the first 11 seconds right here.
The Supreme Court has been asked to reverse rulings that found the terms marriage and natural family and union of a man and a woman can be punished as hate speech in government workplaces.
Now hold on. First off, this legal ruling did not find that any words could be punished at all, which is an important fact I'll return to in a moment. And secondly, it's an error to claim that any words were classified as hate speech in this case, and in fact the words hate speech do not even appear in the legal rulings, to which I'll put links in the video description. But I'll let you listen to the rest of the story and the other 2 errors before I finish explaining.
The Washington Times reports the phrases were in a flyer distributed by city employees in Oakland, California. The flyers were in response to a homosexual group that was allowed to post promotional material on the city's email system. But a lesbian coworker complained she felt, quote, targeted and excluded by the flyers, which the city ordered removed. The authors of the flyer sued, claiming discrimination, and lost. The group representing the women who wrote the flyer says the rulings have silenced hundreds who simply wish to talk about marriage and family values.
Now, the rulings in this case not only did not silence hundreds, but a key fact in the case was that no one was actually silenced. And Fox News was also wrong to label this case a discrimination suit when the Christian women who had their flyer taken down made a free speech claim, not a discrimination claim. That's the biggest point that the Fox stories missed. That this case is about the right of the government acting as an employer to control the activity of employees in the workplace. Fox came closest to explaining this point when Megyn Kelly, appearing on the O'Reilly Factor, gave this quick explanation at the very end of that segment.
Here's what it comes down to. One side says freedom of speech, the other side says, yes, that's important, but employers in the workplace, the employers can regulate what you say and do it. If they've got a good reason for doing it, then the employer gets to do it. Well, here, the good reason was pretty weak. One person complaining, I don't know.
But Megyn Kelly was only half right. It's true that one person complaining was a pretty weak reason for an employer to limit an employee's speech, but Fox fails to tell you that the law requires the court to weigh that weak reason against the strength or weakness of the limit placed on the employee's speech. And what Fox News never told you was what it says right in the federal ruling at the link in the video description, that, quote, in this case, the only limit placed on appellant's speech was the removal of a single flyer from the wall, unquote. That's right. No words were punished as hate speech, as Brit Hume falsely claimed, nor were hundreds silenced. No reprimands were given, no jobs were threatened, and in fact, the Christian women who brought the lawsuit were free to discuss their views about traditional families with their co-workers at lunch and on breaks, and using the same email system the gay-friendly groups used, or even by posting another flyer. Which leads me to ask, why does Fox News feel the need to exaggerate this case into some big threat of discrimination against Christians in the federal workplace? And I'm also interested to ask, based on your experiences, who really is more victimized by discrimination in the workplace? Gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgendered employees? Or conservative Christian employees?
YouTube, you decide.